and gentlemen, I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well. It's interesting to be alive, isn't it? It's interesting to be alive in these trying times of the Democratic Party constantly having to face issues against their own crazy base that, just seems to just really hate this country, to really hate the Democratic Party, and the Democrats are having a huge problem with this now. And what I have for you guys here is that it begins. Far-left agitators descend on Chicago, protest DNC, disrupt opening night party. Goes on to say here, that says, protests kicked off the Democratic National Convention in Chicago on Sunday. One day before the official proceedings were set to begin and formally coronate the party, chosen candidate Kamala Harris, a heavy police presence accompanied protesters who complained about racism, climate change, border security, and nicknamed the nominee Killer Kamala. The march began at Michigan and Waker Drive and headed south to E 9th Street. It was organized by Bodies March, which mostly advocates for abortion and Palestinians. I do like the catchphrase Killer Kamala. I think that is an interesting catchphrase. But I'm more of a fan of Communist Kamala, considering that is what she is. But, we can work with either or, right? I think Communist Kamala might be a bit better. But, we take it as you will. So, obviously, we have this here from the Post-Millennial saying heavy police presence flanks protesters as they march in Chicago on the eve of the DNC. So, these are all the protesters. And, by the way, guys, this is just the beginning, alright? This is just day one. This is not day 2 or day 3, which is supposed to be going, I think, till August 23rd. So, we got a bit of a leeway here. We got a bit of a while before all that great stuff starts happening, and I wonder what's going to go on. I really wonder what's going to go on. Continues to say that pride flag waving protesters chanted racist, sexist, anti-gay Christian fascists go away as they were flanked by cops. The mission of the Bodies March, per their demands, reads, we demand federal action to expand access to abortion and reproductive health care, support families, and defend the rights of trans and queer people. We demand an end to reproductive genocide, an end to U.S. arms exports to Israel, and an immediate and lasting ceasefire in Palestine so all Palestinians can live in freedom, identity, with body autonomy, and reproductive justice. The problem here is that it's not going to happen. The deep state and the military complex loves their guns, loves murder, loves death, loves war, so they're going to continue going on for it. That's just the reality of it, guys. You're not going to get any support from your Democrat super PACs or anything of the sort. You know why? Because all these people, they all love their wars. They all love murdering people. They're just like not Kathy Hochul, but Nikki Haley, right? They're just like Nikki Haley, where she advocates and signs rockets going to, Gaza, wanting to say hello. So I don't know about you guys, but this person is a bloody psychopath. But again, of course, I don't see how this has anything to do, because again, with the trans and queer people, none of that is being banned, okay? The only thing that's being banned is actual surgery onto children, alright? That's just the reality. You cannot go and mess with children and all that great stuff, alright? If you want to go and butcher your body or whatever the age of 18, by all means, go and do it. I'm not gonna go and stop you, but leave the children the hell alone. So we go on to say, they go on to say here that long live the Antifada. They chanted, out of your house, out of your home, will bring the war home. Again, I don't know what that could necessarily mean, other than them trying to be actively aggressive towards our country, which, by the way, if you're doing that in our country, perhaps you should probably be removed out of our country for the safety of our people, because I don't really take those type of threats lightly But of course, the Democrats, they're going to have to deal with it. They'll probably love it. Since the far left base of the Democrat Party has been extremely vocal about their displeasure with the Biden-Harris administration's policies toward Israel, Palestinian terror group Hamas massacred 1,200 Israelis in a surprise attack on October 7th, 2023, and kidnapped over 200. Yeah, the war is all bad. We all know. We don't like war. I think war is completely insane. And of course, they do the anti-abortion thing, which will probably be going on, maybe not today, but probably tomorrow. It really depends on how long my next video takes. But again, we have this here. I'm saying thousands of activists expected in Chicago for Democratic convention to call for Gaza ceasefire. So that's going on there right now. That's going to be fun and great. But it gets kind of worse, guys. It gets kind of worse because, of course, we have this from not Nikki Haley, but lives a TikTok pretty much saying not a single store in Milwaukee boarded up their businesses when thousands of Republicans came to the RNC. These business owners are boarding up ahead of the DNC. Why are Democrats always so violent? Probably because they cater to the very violent mob. That's probably a good example there. That's all that they really do is cater to the violent mob. Maybe if they didn't cater to the violent mob, they would have more support and maybe not have psychopaths ruling the country. But of course, that's just the way the Democrats do, right? They don't care about the American people as long as they stay in power. And of course, they want to enact very anti-American policies, if you will. Very socialist. Communists. So, there's that. So what we have here is what they talk about with this situation.
Is set to begin. Area businesses are taking some precautions.
WGN's Andrea Medina shows you how some companies in the Loop are starting to board up ahead of the big event.
Given the uncertainty surrounding next week's convention, businesses are taking steps to prevent potential threats to their property, like looting or vandalism, by adding protection.
We've had zero indication that there would be any protections down in the Loop.
That's why the owner of Sid Jerome Menswear is reinforcing his downtown store by covering up the windows with plywood in anticipation of possible civil unrest and violent protests that may come from the Democratic National Convention next week.
We know from past experiences that something could ensue, so we wanted to be proactive and get ahead of it.
The men's clothing shop is located on Madison Street, which is down the block from City Hall and along the main route to the United Center, where significant gatherings are expected. The owner hopes these measures will be sufficient to prevent potential damages and avoid a repeat of past incidents.
We've been a victim on 4 separate occasions where we've been vandalized or looted for, various incidents or events that happened in the city.
They're not alone in their concerns. The Chicago Board Up Services says their crews have been actively boarding up storefronts over the past few days to mitigate losses and destruction. So far, they've secured 12 locations around the West Loop, downtown, and Daly Center area, with plans to board up additional businesses this weekend.
We're not pushing it. We're hoping that the city will be comfortable and there will be no unrest. But if you feel that you want your doors boarded, it's better to board them up than to wait and have to board them up and replace glass.
A spokesperson with the Chicago Loop Alliance indicates that they believe the convention will go off successfully without harming businesses and considers boarding up with plywood to be unnecessary, though they understand why business owners are taking these precautions. Mayor Brandon Johnson is also confident the DNC will proceed smoothly with the support of the Chicago Police Department.
But we're also coordinating with Secret Service and other local law enforcement agencies to ensure that we have a vibrant, safe, productive DNC.
The board up company says if businesses need something boarded up, they encourage them to do it ahead of the convention, but they say that crews will be available if they need something done next week. Reporting in the Loop, Andrea Medina, WGN News.
Yeah, so the DNC, the businesses around the DNC and in Chicago in general are preparing for boarding up, because obviously the far left are violent, as they always are. They always do these horrible protests. I mean, go look at anywhere the pro-Palestinian people are. They just leave mayhem and destruction. And that's just the way it is. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you guys. This was not a thing in Milwaukee. This was not a thing that, that was happening in the Republican, or the RNC, rather. And this is just something people have to live with. It just goes to show that if there's anything that's related to the Democratic side, people are just expecting violence. That's not good. Democrats, I don't know how this is a good look for you, right? Because when you ever have a specific side, and people are preparing for actual mayhem and destruction, that's an issue, right? That means wherever you guys go, you have the most radicals, the most dangerous people, the most violent people coming up and causing issues for others, and the RNC's not. So I don't know what else to tell people. I mean, you have one side clearly just causing mayhem and destruction and making other businesses quite scared for themselves and their property, whereas, the RNC, that's not happening. So that's an issue, right? Democrats, I mean, that's not a good front for you. And again, this is again from Libs of TikTok saying, pro-Palestinian protesters just crashed a DNC welcome party. It barely even started. Going to be a very long week. Oh boy. Here we go.
Y'all can do better than that. Mike DeMoney!
150,000 people are dead! You are funding a genocide! The Harris-Biden administration keeps funding money to Israel!
So this is just obnoxious. This is just annoying. It's disruptive. That's just kind of how it goes. It's just not great. It's just not great. But this is kind of what the Democratic Party to expect when you start catering to these freaking lunatics. When these people are coming forth. This is just all you can do. I mean, this is what you have to deal with. Honestly, if I was the Democratic Party and I wanted to make favor to the American people, personally, I would just deport every last one of these people that are on visas, go send them back home to Gaza where they actually want to belong, and anybody else that was, that's not native here, just kick them out as well, because obviously these people are not being very productive. And what I mean by kicking the people out that's not native, I mean kicking out the people that are actively calling using violence and has these Palestinian flags or whatever. I don't think you people are wanted here. I don't think you people are warranted here. I think you're demonstrably a danger to society and to our country, and I think you people belong in a place where you actively want to be and defend, because obviously this is not something that I really agree with. I don't agree with you people going up and destroying things, breaking up things, defacing our things, our monuments and all that, and putting in Gaza. If you like Gaza so much, just go there. Just go there. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Let's guys share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted, because it's algorithmic disease, the social media.